I conferred with the village attorney regarding tonight's session because we own commercial property in the village, and I have been advised that that presents a conflict of interest, and therefore I must recuse myself from this discussion.
All right. Thank you, Trustee Brown.
My name is Arthur Brown. I live at 850 Bell Lane, and I'm not going to speak either in favor or against the ordinance. My comments, I hope, will help to clarify through the experience that we've had in dealing with both commercial and residential properties. Whenever an owner builds a building or renovates the building, they have to do it in accordance to the code that particular municipality has. And there is inspections, and there's a whole series of events that have to take place before the property becomes applicable to be occupied. I believe that a property maintenance code has the function of maintaining that code as time passes by. Properties will deteriorate with time, and I believe that a property maintenance code has to deal with the physical condition of that property and strictly try to bring it up to the code that it was at when it was built. At least that's the way we've had the experience for 20 years with property maintenance code being the recipient of inspections and whatnot. I will also let you know that the applicable property maintenance code that we have dealt with has always been applicable to both residential and commercial. I will also have to tell you that in our particular case, probably 90% of the issues or inspections have been with residential properties and not with commercial. And the reason for that is that it has to deal with public safety and the welfare. Keep in mind that the purpose of the property maintenance code is to maintain the structures safe and habitable for the people that pay rent. At the same time, you should keep in mind that the relationship between the landlord and the tenant is not through the property maintenance code. Is through a landlord-tenant ordinance. The landlord-tenant ordinance governs what is the rights of the tenant and the obligations, as well as the rights and the obligations of the landlord. And that applies very much in line with the lease and will be usable in a court of law. And we have seen cases where without an attorney, a tenant will go and file in small claims court a petition based on both the landlord-tenant ordinance and have won the case. The property maintenance code is not an all solution. It is strictly looking at the physical condition of the building. And whenever there is a problem with that, the property maintenance code would deal with it. You should also keep in mind that the property maintenance code, as was pointed out by one of the speakers, has unintended consequences. And the reason for that is that the way it is implemented is very fundamental. It is the key to the whole thing. If you approve a maintenance code, property maintenance code, without some description of how it will be implemented, for example, will be based on regular inspections? Will it be based in every case where there is a lease so that there is protection for both landlord and tenant? If you apply it to only certain structures, I don't think you will be keeping in with the safety and the welfare of the people that are paying rent, as well as the landlords that have to provide that. I also believe that you have to make the property maintenance code, if you adopt it, applicable to Winnetka. Winnetka is a very unique city village, forgive me. Very, very unique. And the commercial buildings as well as the residential buildings are very, very unique. I think you should really pay attention to the fact that there are some unique situations in Winnetka and they should be dealt with. On the other side of the coin, you should look at the fact that every time you ask an owner to do something for the building, there's a cost involved. And you have to balance that with the safety of the building and what is really necessary to maintain the occupancy. I don't argue in favor or against, but I do believe that if you craft something that will be applicable to Winnetka and will take into account the cost and how it is implemented and goes in hand with a tenant-landlord ordinance, you will probably have something that will really work for everybody's benefit. Thank you.